Hello everyone, welcome back to the craft room. Today I'm back to work on my design team project for Natty Moon. I'm going to make a folio with the Steampunk Gentleman kit. You remember this from the last video. And I'm going to use a design that I saw a couple years ago on YouTube. I made some notes about it and I found them while I was cleaning up my room. So I think I'm going to make this. This is how my brain works, sorry. I saw this video from 21 by Victorean Dreams by Leigh, and she did this file folder folio and I really liked it. So we're going to do the same thing today. I'm going to link her video below so you could see how she did it as well, in case your brain doesn't function this way. Okay, so the supplies I have on hand are a pair of scissors, some glue, you know, your favorite glue, whatever works on paper. I have a manila file folder, and then I have a spare folder for cutting small pieces out of for later, but this is a whole one. I have a scoreboard with the bone folder scoring tool, and then I have a paper cutter. You could do this with a ruler, pencil, you know, mark where you want, cut it, but I don't trust myself with that, so since I have the paper trimmer, I'm going to use it for nice straight cuts. So the first thing she did, let's get the scoreboard out of the way here, was she took her folder and she cut off these little slimmy parts right here to make it a straight shot down. So I'm going to do that as well. You can leave them on if you like that. It'll change your dimensions slightly, but no biggie. Do whatever you like. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here and I'm going to take off just that sliver on both sides. See, just barely cut off that little curved out piece there. Just a little bit. And I'm going to do the other end the same way. Let's line that up. I think I like it with the big side. It's more stable this way. Put that on the blade. And there we go. Now we're done with the cutter for a bit. I think I'll be using scissors from here on out. Ooh, do you hear that thunder? It is a rare stormy day here in Naples. Perfect day to be in the craft room. Okay, so next we have our folder, just the straight edges. So we'll get our scoreboard back out. Pop out the tool here. Okay, so she started with, we're using the middle tab folder, as you could tell by what I'm doing, but I want to say that out loud. She started from the indent side, and it says we're going to score at 4 inches. Okay, nice score. Okay, I don't know if you could see that, but here when I make the shadow it's easier to see. There we go. And we're going to come over to the folders come with expanded score lines. Don't know if you could see these. Let me get a good angle. Like right here. We're going to score this first one to make it a better score. So wherever that is on your folder. And we're going to use the natural middle fold. And then, since my scoreboard isn't that wide, we're going to put the middle fold up against the side here and score at 4 7/8. 4 7/8. That's 1 tick back from 5. Here's a half, 3/4, 7/8. And then we're also going to score at 5 1/2 from the fold. It's a little awkward holding this in place while folding, but you know, it's all good. Okay, and then scored, this is going to be our bottom and this is our top. So on the bottom we're going to score 3 inches for a fold up. Right. And let's move the folder up and keep going. So we get all the way across. Okay, so that is the basics. Let's put the scoreboard aside for a second. And we are going to cut some flaps here. We are going to cut some stuff. Let me get a pencil here to kind of mark. All right. So this little section here is going to go away. This is going to stay. This is going to go away. No, we're going to cut that. We're not going to throw this out. We're going to cut this and this. We're going to save this part. Just looking at my notes here. Over the line. Yes, we are going to cut this out. All right. Pay no attention to me. I know exactly what I'm doing. Just following my notes here, people. Okay. So we're going to cut out this little square. I'm just going to use my scissors and follow the cut lines, or the score lines here. Right up to that 3-inch mark. And then I'm going to turn it around and cut the rest. Right, we are going to save these little pieces. We can use them for other things. And you know what? I think I'm going to cut off this little bit of flappiness there, just to make it a straight line. Just going to eyeball it. There we go. Let's hope that was straight. All right, and we're going to cut out between the first natural fold and the center fold. Say the expansion line in this center fold. I'm going to try and fold this up and get it out of the way so I can get in there with my scissors. There we go. Okay. We're going to cut these two off. So again, right on that 3-inch score line from the bottom. Now we have this. Okay. Now, pockets. This is going to be a pocket. This is going to have a flip down on the top. Okay, it is looking cute. Okay, so the piece that I cut off from down here, we're going to use to make a matching flap for this. So we can have a button string enclosure right here. So I'm going to get the scoreboard out one more time. I want to score a 1/2-inch line here for a gluing flap. Just going to score at the 1/2-inch mark. Okay. Nice. And it's going to go right here. So I wanted to make sure that they both match in their style and color. So I'm going to put the score line right up against that flap, and you can see it's a little wide and then this one's a little tall, so we're going to trim them both at the same time. I'm just going to hold them together, and I'm going to trim off the top of this. Beautiful. Keeping them together. Turn it over and trim this side. It's a little awkward because I'm right-handed, but we're going to get it eventually. I'll figure it out. Here we go. Awkward right-handed angle. Let's make that a little nicer. Okay. Go, a couple little scrappy pieces. All right, now they're the same-ish size, very close. And I want to make sure that I'm not going to interfere with my folding lines here. So we're going to need to bring these in just a little. So we're going to give it a little haircut and maybe shape the corners some. So I'm still going to hold them together while I do this, so they'll both be the same. And I'm going to cut the angle first. We're going to sliver them in so that we don't get hung up on the fold lines there. Keep them together, Dianne. See? And we're going to cut this, get a little bit of an angle on this side. Okay. And now let's round the top a bit. Okay, what do we think? That is cute. Okay. So we've got our bottom flap attached. We got our top flap we're going to put here. I like it. I think it's cute. I think I'm going to soften up this angle a little bit here. Didn't cut that very well. And do the same thing on this side. Alright, that's coming together quite nicely. I don't feel like that's going to interfere with that fold. Or that fold. Cute, cute. Alright, let's go ahead and glue this little flippy flap on. So how are y'all doing today? I hope you're enjoying this little, before I do that, I'm going to cut these off a little bit so you don't see once I glue my pretty paper on top. Sorry, what was I saying? How's everybody doing today? I hope you're enjoying the weather where you are. We have some kind of pressure system moving in. That's why you can hear my voice is nasally. It's messing with the pressures in my head. That's okay. We'll figure it out. Alright, gonna line that up. Let's get that to glue down for a second. Okay, very nice. So then we'll use some of our scrap pieces and we'll cut out some circles and do a button string closure here. We'll make this a pocket, which I want to do the same treatment. I want to kind of angle this in so it doesn't interfere with the other folds. So we're just going to take a sliver off of that and a sliver off of this side. Okay. And I'm going to round these corners a bit too. Just to give it a little. There we go. Okay, so now we have a basic folio, folding our lines here. So you could fold it with the tab on the outside, or you could fold it like this on the outside. Pretty versatile, pretty cute. The other thing she did was she put a couple of flaps on here so that you had something that opened up in this area as well. So I thought that was a cute idea. So I'm going to use the spare folder here, and she cut 2 flaps or 4 inches by 8 1/4. Let's see how tall ours is. We are at, oh my goodness, just about 8 1/4. Okay. So as long as they're this height, and you need a 1/2 inch for a folding, gluing flap. Excuse me. And from there, 4 inches is going to be right there. So I think I need to make mine, well, once we take a 1/2 inch flap, it's going to be 3 1/2. So that's going to be pretty close. I think we can do it. Alright, so let's do 4 by 8 1/2 on our spare folder. Okay, so we're going to put that one aside for now. Get our cutter back out. And I am just going to take 1/2 of this folder. Okay, I'm going to cut this to 8 1/2. So let's see, that is right here. So we have the height. And then we're going to cut 2 4-inch sections. So 4 inches. There's one flap. And 4 inches for the second flap. Okay, that's a cool little leftover. Interesting. All right, now back to the scoreboard. Yes, I said scoreboard. Here we go. So on the 4-inch side, I'm going to give myself a 1/2 inch of gluing flap. And on the other one, the same thing, 1/2 inch of gluing flap. Oh look, it's right on one of the fold lines here. That's cool. Okay. Just gonna burnish these down a bit. And burnish this down. So our flaps are going to go in this last section over here. And glue one right here. Oh, this is too tall. You measured wrong, Diane. Good job. Let's make our flaps a little shorter than the folio itself. So we're going to mark it right here. So pay no attention to me. I did that wrong. Let's cut our height down again. So yeah, the flaps on the end, you have to work with whatever the size of folder you have is. So just give it a measure, give it a try. It's always better to have them too big than too small. You can always trim it down, just like that. Okay. So now, this fits the height, okay, and it fits the width both ways. They can flip-flap in, okay. So I'm going to glue this one here. Handy, handy Fabri-Tac. I know this stuff is a little more expensive, but I do love the way it works. It's so fast. Okay, I'm going to center that. And I'm bringing it just off of the fold there so that it doesn't interfere. You don't want to bind up the folding. Let's see if you can see that. There's the fold. There's the flap. Okay, so we'll open that. And then we'll line this guy up inside with this one. Gonna have to scoot it out a little bit so that this flap can still fold over. Yeah, that looks good. Right up into the round of that corner. Okay. Now if you have a corner rounder, you can use that on all these corners and then make them look the same. You could wait till after you get the paper on, you know, the pretty paper, or you could do it now and then do it again with the pretty paper. Whatever you like. Okay, so we're going to line this up with this, and then scoot it over into the corner. So that's going to give us some room between the edge of this flap and the inside of this one. You can open this. And these little flaps will be covered by our pretty paper that we put in here. So the only thing limiting you on this folio is your imagination. You can add pockets, you can add flips, you can add folders, you can make little tie downs. We're going to put a belly band here. So, you know, you have all these surfaces to decorate and work on. So I think we're going to let this glue dry for a little bit, and then we're going to come back and decide how we want to use the printables on this cool folio. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. I really hope you enjoyed this. Please go over to Victorean Dreams by Leigh. I'm going to link her video below. Give her a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up too if you like this one. If you want to see the rest of this, please subscribe to my channel and check out Natty Moon's Etsy store and Facebook group in the links down below. Thanks so much. I'll see you again in a few. Bye.